So this pot right here, I have my iron skillet that I love so much. This is where I'm going to be making my shrimp sauce. And then I have my small pot over here for my grits. And that's all you need, 2 pots. And because this dish is so quick and so easy, you can cook it at the same time and not worry about not being able to pay attention to what's going on. So I'm gonna get started with the shrimp first because grits doesn't take long. Let me go ahead and turn off the stove. I already have my milk for my grits, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off because I wanna get started on the shrimp. So while it's cooking, we can go ahead and knock out the grits because it doesn't take very long for it to be done. So you're gonna first have your stove on medium. Prep it with oil. I have olive oil. Just put a little, about 2 teaspoons of butter. And add in there, just let it melt naturally, just throw it in there. I already have our vegetable cut up right here. And for our grits, we have 2 tomatoes, 1 bell pepper, 3 cloves of garlic, about half of onion, and then green onion. Forgot the other name, but I always call it green onion. So what we have, I have everything already chopped up for you right here. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna toss it in there. Overcook your vegetable, so while it's still on there and hot, I'm gonna get my shrimp. Now I have the shell still on it. It's about 1 pound of shrimp, depending on the serving size or how many people you're cooking for. This is about 2 servings for 2 people. I still have the shrimp on there. Reason why, because I love this shell, just to pull it up there, but you can unpeel it. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss my shrimp on there before I add my seasoning. Make sure not to put the water, add the water, I'm just gonna use my hands. Go ahead and add our seasoning because I want my seasoning to cook with that shrimp sauce and really get into that shrimp. So the seasoning that we're gonna use for our shrimp sauce, very simple. Of course, we have salt for taste. We have our paprika, smoked paprika. We have our ginger powder. Now you could have cut some fresh ginger and put it in there, but I like ginger powder better. Garlic is what I really like to chop fresh and put it in my dishes. When it comes to ginger, I often use the powder. And then we have our Bouillon. I don't know if I'm saying this right.
Bouillon.
Bouillon. Okay, Bouillon. So it's basically stock. And I put this in everything. If you have another brand, you can, but I always get Knorr because you know Knorr is the bomb. So I have that. And now I didn't indicate this on the ingredients list, but Worcestershire was just calling my name. Now you know my love of Worcestershire sauce, and I don't even think I'm saying that right either.
No, you are.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought I wasn't saying it right, but yes, we're gonna add this because it doesn't hurt to add Worcestershire sauce to anything. Some people don't like it, but I love it, so you can remove this if you don't like Worcestershire sauce. It's whatever your option is. So we're gonna start with drizzling just a little bit of Worcestershire sauce on our shrimp. That wasn't a little bit, but so we're gonna start with salt. Now I'm light on salt because you can always pour more salt, but you can't remove the salt that's on there. So I would start with salt, and you know, later on you can taste, and if you want more salt for taste, a lot of people's taste buds are different, you can always add it. So I sprinkle a little salt on there, and this is sea salt. And then I get my smoked paprika. As far as measurement goes, again, it's about 1.5 teaspoons. Add that on there. I get my ginger. Same thing, about 1 teaspoon. Put my ginger on there. And then my bouillon. Bouillon. So fancy saying it right. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of it. And there we go, yes. And then this right here is pepper. Any type of red pepper that you have. I have the ground red pepper that I got from the farmer's market. African pepper is very spicy. If you don't like spice, you don't have to add this. But too long, I'm just gonna sprinkle that on there. I like a kick, but not too much kick. Okay, so once it's on, I'm gonna use my tongs and just make sure that shrimp gets all that season I just added on there. Mix it real well. Yes. And we're gonna let it, sorry guys, I'm getting a little perched. Get some water. We're gonna let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. So while that's cooking, we're gonna go ahead to our grits. On our grits now, I am doing a low carb version of the grits. If you're not, of course you can get regular grits from the store. I know Quaker has like instant grits. I don't advise this, but if you're not feeling like really putting that work in, hey, I'm not gonna tell anyone. But you can get raw grits from any store, Kroger's, Walmart, whatever, and it's just like very grainy. And then I am not using that. I am using cauliflower. So on to the question that I had about if I got cauliflower grits or I made it as far as like fresh grits. So what I did was get regular fresh cauliflower and I cut out the stems, and it was half of that. And I blended it. If you have a nice choppy blender, make sure that there's no water in there because you don't want it liquid. Now cauliflower and a lot of vegetables already naturally have a lot of water in it. So whenever you blend it, you know, it still has that wet feeling. So this is what it looks like after I was done blending it. As you can see, it still looks really grainy. If I didn't tell you it was cauliflower, my friend, you wouldn't know. So you're gonna start off with a small little pan, and I already have milk. If you have whole milk, it's better. Add about a cup of whole milk or 1% milk or whatever, but whole milk is, if you know, what I've been seeing a lot. So I added that on there, let it warm up. Now I had the stove on before, so that I'm gonna go ahead and add our, whether you have grits, whether you have cauliflower, whichever, I'm gonna go ahead and add that now. Go ahead. Now if you have grits, you have to stir it a lot. Make sure it doesn't burn and have a really nice pot. That's one thing about grits, it can burn very easily if you're not careful. You have to continually stir it. So I have it on medium and I'm stirring. Right now it just has milk in there. I'm gonna go ahead and add some heavy cream, heavy whipping cream. Add about just a little bit, not too much. There we go. Just to have that thickness to it. And then when we have our heavy cream, we keep stirring. Now I have 2 cups, not cups, I always get my, 2 teaspoons of butter. Now you can have it melted or you can just throw it in there. It's gonna eventually melt on its own. Some people might wanna put more butter, but no. So while that's melting, I have basil. Now I like to put basil last. This is for our shrimp sauce. I really love basil because of the flavor. It just adds a little extra punch to there. I didn't cut it up in pieces or anything like that. I'm gonna add it whole like it is. Ooh, look at that shrimp. Toss that in there. Mix it into my shrimp. I love how shrimp just turns orange so quickly. It looks so pretty. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys to see it when I'm done. Don't worry. I'm gonna close that back up. Now my butter is melting up. Stir it. Remember, you keep stirring your grits because this is cauliflower, so it's not gonna burn. But if you're using actual grits, it burns very easily. So, and that's gonna ruin your entire grits and you have to start over. So you're gonna keep stirring it. While it's getting hot, I'm gonna increase the heat a little bit more. stirred and it's nice and hot, we're gonna add cheese, shredded cheese, just a little bit on there. You don't want to add this part, you don't have to. I've seen a lot of different versions of grits. Sprinkle that on top.
What kind of cheese?
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, cheddar cheese. Thanks for, I got my friend here. She keeps me in check. Thanks for that question. So you let it melt just like you let the butter melt. It's gonna melt naturally in there. And the only ingredients, the only seasoning I add to the grits is just salt. Because remind you, it's gonna be, the shrimp is gonna be on top of there. Grits just with the butter and the cheese and the milk and the heavy cream, it'll have that natural milky flavor to it, cheesy milky flavor to it. And then when you combine it with that shrimp and the shrimp sauce, oh yes. You're gonna thank me later. So we're still stirring, because remember, if you have actual grits and not cauliflower, it will stick. So we have our salt. Just sprinkle just a little bit of salt. If you want to add some black pepper on here, you can, but I'm not a black pepper fan because I feel like it tastes like dust. If I put it like in my salad or something, doesn't it? I don't know, I'm just not.
I like black pepper.
You like black pepper? I'm not a fan of black pepper. Like if I put it like in fruit or like vegetables, then I can taste it. If not, I don't really taste it. I don't know, maybe that's just me. So that's the last ingredients to our grits. We're just gonna keep stirring while it's cooking. You're gonna do this for like a good 5 to 7 minutes. Because it's cauliflower, again, it's not gonna burn, so I'm not too worried about stirring all the time. So let me just do a check, make sure we added everything that we were supposed to add, and we did. Yes. Yes, I don't need anything else. Don't need any more salt, don't need any more anything. That tasted perfect. You guys have a great weekend. You guys be safe. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video that I do. Bye.